The So Bros Network presents the movie podcast breaking down films and their impact on pop culture as they approach the legal drinking age. This is Drinking With. Now here's your host, Stephen McCash.
Welcome to Drinking With, the podcast where we raise a glass to movies that have reached the legal drinking age. I'm your host, Stephen McCash of the So Bros Network, and join me as we embark on a cinematic journey through the classics of yesteryear, celebrating their 21st birthdays in style. From iconic blockbusters to hidden gems, each episode will toast to a different film that has stood the test of time and shaped our cultural landscape. So grab your favorite beverage or the one we have curated for this episode, and let's dive into the nostalgia as we explore movies that are finally old enough to join us for a drink. And then joining me at the bar, as always, are the two best people I can think of to stumble out of the bar with after a long discussion of movies. First is the resident film critic of the So Bros Network, Mr. Brandon Vick, who is also a member of the Southeastern Film Critics Association, board member of the Music City Films Critics Association, and most importantly, the birth giver of the Vic's Flicks and Cinema Chronicles podcast that you can hear wherever you get your podcast from. And joining him is the man behind the So Bros Network, the EIC, the glue of the brand, a gin aficionado, cat lover, all-around football wordsmith, and so many more adjectives, Mr. Stoney Keeley. Gentlemen, it is August. My balls are stuck to my thighs. I'm in a violent mood right now. How are you guys today?
I'm also in a violent mood because of the time of year that it is. And I think the only hope that I have right now is that the next time we gather for this podcast, it'll be September. And surely it'll cool off a little bit by then.
It'll only be 92 degrees.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
With maybe only 72% humidity.
Yes.
But hey, football.
Yep. Football. We're it's right around the
Foosball.
corner. Hey, do you ever think when, I don't know if you guys do this when you start to listen to a podcast and the intro comes on, do you hit the little 30-second skip button every time?
No, I don't.
No.
Oh, I thought you do.
I love the chit chat at the beginning of a podcast. Like warm me up. Let's get into a zone. I feel like I'm sitting at a table with my friends. I want to know how everybody's doing. Give me that like 10, 15 minute banter before you, like lube me up before you
Stick it in.
Plow.
Yeah.
Start to plow.
I was mainly referring to like the little ad read at the beginning where they tell you what podcast you're listening to, like I just did.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I never think, because I always think like by the time I usually listen to podcasts when I'm driving. So it's like by the time I get to my phone, I get to a stop sign or a red light where it's safe enough to look at my phone. By the time I get all that sorted out, we'll be through the intro. So I might as well just stick it out.
I'm just wondering how many people, when they hear me say welcome to, they just go ahead, 30-second skip.
30 second skip.
But like miss our whole introductions that you worked so hard on.
I know. That I haven't changed in like 2 years. Yeah.
Well, not me. I don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't
don't listen to podcasts.
Well, that's true.
I watch them.
You watch them. Yes.
I have kind of gone that direction where like I do listen to more podcasts than I have before, but I'm watching them. So
well, that's the evolution of the podcast.
Yeah,
now.
it
You
is.
got to have your clips for TikTok. So
I've tried watching them, and I can't. I love listening to Diary of a CEO and Armchair Expert, and they're both recorded for film as well. So I'll put them on YouTube, and it's just not the same to me.
Well, I work from home, so I usually have that going as it's the same thing. Like sometimes I just put on Pandora.
That's fair.
And I listen to some
Pandora.
Black Hawk.
Grandpa.
Pandora.
Yeah, I got it. I'm sorry. I got Black Hawk song list, and it gives me all some old ass country music. And when Pam Tillis comes on, I lock my computer and sit in front of my couch and listen to the whole thing.
You're the one person keeping Pandora afloat.
Well, my family has it. I'm using their account.
Okay.
Oh, so your family's paying to keep Pandora afloat.
One person in the family is paying for it, and then we're all using it. And my son is a big fan of the kids' music.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. What do the kids listen to these days? Not Pandora? Is that stupid?
Pandora's heydays past, I think.
Yeah.
Where do people listen to music now?
Oh, I don't know. Spotify, Apple Music,
Spotify.
YouTube Music,
We have
Amazon
Spotify.
Music, the radio.
Oh no, I'm not giving Jeff Bezos my money.
Well, I gave him $6 to watch this piece of shit last night, so let's get into it.
Even I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're talking about A History of Violence that I have called every name under the book but that. I've called it In a Violent Nature. I've called it Moment in Violence. I've called it so many things other than its name, but A History of Violence is a crime thriller that follows Tom Stahl, a quiet small-town diner owner whose life changes after he heroically stops a violent robbery at his restaurant. His sudden fame attracts dangerous criminals who claim that Tom is actually Joey Cusack, maybe related to John and Joan, we don't know,
Could be.
who is a former mob enforcer with a violent past.
I think there's just some snarkiness in that.
There's a little bit. Directed by David Cronenberg, who you know from The Fly and Scanners. Those are two movies that proves he knows how to make a good one. It was also written by John Wagner, who is best known for Judge Dredd. Vince Locke, who is best known for his work on Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Okay.
And then John Olson, who, oddly enough, was nominated for Best Adaptive Screenplay at the Academy Awards for A History of Violence.
Yeah.
Take that.
That Brokeback Mountain one, by way.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah. But A History of Violence stars Viggo Mortensen as Tom Stahl, Maria Bello as his wife, Ed Harris, and the Best Supporting Actor nominee William Hurt.
I have something that is very mean and disrespectful to say about this movie, but I feel like it's too good of a zinger to just keep to myself.
Go ahead.
A History of Violence feels like a movie that would be an attempt at a dramatic mob movie from people that made horror movies, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and Judge Dredd.
Yes. Or that also made Lifetime channel movies as well. But look, I'm not the biggest drinker in the world, but I felt I had to drink while watching this 96-minute masterpiece.
Okay.
And so I have a drink called the Small Town Secret.
Ooh.
It's
mysterious.
I like the title.
It's 2 ounces of rye whiskey with a half ounce of cherry liqueur, a quarter ounce of maple syrup, and then 2 dashes of bitters and 1 dash of orange bitters. You're going to fill a mixing glass with ice, add your rye whiskey, your cherry liqueur, maple syrup, and both your bitters. Stir for about 20 seconds till it's, well chilled. Strain into a large rocks glass filled with a single cube, and then garnish with a cherry, and then take an orange peel around the rim of the glass, and then drop it in. And that is your Small Town Secret.
That sounds like a delightful,
terrific drink for a terrific film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Love it.
I should have saved that for waiting.
I would have drank bleach.
This movie was made for money. So what do we think the budget for?
Well, Viggo Mortensen wasn't cheap, I'm sure. Neither was Ed Harris.
Maria Bellows Bush.
Cronenberg, I feel like always is like one of those that like give him about 30-40 million and he can do it.
Yeah, I'm
gonna say 38 million.
The effects, like there is some, they do
There's
go
some practical effects.
Philadelphia. It's not just all filmed in a small town.
We think.
Yeah. I'm gonna say 26.
26 and 38.
Yeah.
You guys are dead in the middle there. 32 million is what the budget for A History of Violence costs.
That is literally the average of the two numbers we threw out there. Yeah.
Cronenberg did a nice job.
Yeah.
Yep. So with that said, did it make its money back? So let's talk a little box office here. We're talking U.S. Canada opening weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you, this opens September 23rd against Flight Plan, Roll Bounce, and a real documentary. Hurricane Katrina happened that week.
Wow. So opening weekend.
I'll give you the top 5 if you think it'll help you.
Well, we'll get to that. Is this like technically end of September? Is that technically like start of award season? Is this when people would kind of perk up a little bit? Like,
because
it was. I'm trying to remember. Like, was this an awards player from the jump, or was it something that had legs after the fact?
I like either or, but
yeah,
this is coming when Eastern Promises was an awards player, so I feel like his next film was probably positioned in the fall to maybe, and I mean, it does get nominated. So
that's what, yeah,
I kind of feel like it's rated R. It's Cronenberg. He's a peculiar taste. So I really kind of feel like
this was before Eastern Promises.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Eastern Promises was 07.
Oh, it was that much further?
Yeah.
Wow. Whole time I thought this was after with Vigo. I'm gonna say 11 million.
See, I was gonna say 18.
I don't even know if it's double digits though, to be honest.
11 and 18. All right, let me give you the top 5 real quick.
Okay. All right.
Number 5, Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Hell yeah.
We're still going because it had been out for
almost a month.
Yeah.
It came out in early September.
Number 4 is Roll Bounce. I believe that is that Nick Cannon. I think, or Little Bow Wow. Little Bow Wow. Number 3 is Just Like Heaven. I don't know what that is.
That's Mark Ruffalo and Reese Witherspoon.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's a movie that exists.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Corpse Bride.
Hell yeah. Let's go. Let's go.
Me.
And then if you think Vigo beat out Jodie Foster, you're wrong. Flight Plan is number 1.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So History of Violence not even in the top 5 that weekend.
History of Violence opened at number 22 with $364,000 at the box office.
Now wait just one god flipping minute. Was this a limited release? We're not talking New York, LA stuff, are we?
I think it was like 14 different theaters.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't have guessed 11 million if I knew it was only playing in 14.
You got us with the okie doke.
Yeah.
I got you with the old okie doke. Yes, I did.
Pulled our shirt over our heads.
Well, he's trying to embarrass Cronenberg is what he's trying to do. There's only 14 theaters. You know what? I bet you that average was awesome.
You remember 2 months ago when you shit on my movie Waiting? Here we are.
Gross.
So total U.S. Canada box office, it didn't make its money back. It finished at 31.5 million, just under the 32 million budget it had. But
see, that's such a surprise because this movie is held in such high regard all these years later.
Is it?
Yeah, I caught some shit on Twitter for saying I didn't. This was a 2.5.
People love it.
Yeah.
I don't love it that much, but people do love it.
Yeah.
But who loved the movie was those overseas because internationally this made 29.7 million, nearly as much as it did in America. So with a worldwide total of 61.2 million. So it doubled almost its budget.
I really do think it speaks to the filmmaker. I think Cronenberg is more, I think, hailed, and you have people in America that love him, but his reach isn't necessarily, and I don't know if any of his movies are made for general audience movie going.
Fair enough.
And I think the more sophisticated bunch are outside of the US who appreciate it.
Bulgaria.
That's who I'm going next.
The UK brought in 6.7 of that 29.7. France with another 4.7. And then, yes, our friends in Bulgaria brought in a whopping $36,000. That's a good showing in Bulgaria for A History of Violence.
Get it.
But I have a question because we talked about this in King Kong. Do New Zealanders, Kiwis, just not like movies? Because
I don't know.
How many theaters are there?
That's a great question. I just looked it up. There, as of July of last year, 2025, there were 106 theaters in the country of New Zealand.
Wow.
But A History of Violence brought in $44.
Oh my God. That's like, well, I don't know.
2 people saw it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But what did those 2 critics in New Zealand think about it on Rotten Tomatoes? So what is the tomato meter?
I know it's I know it's fresh. I know a lot of people liked it when it came out.
Yeah.
I'm actually baffled because for years I thought Eastern Promises was before this one. So the fact that this was sort of, because I don't even know what Cronenberg did before. Does anybody know what it, like, quickly look up what was the one before A History of Violence?
I am efforting that now.
As far as Rotten Tomatoes critics, I'm going to say 85.
85?
Yeah, I think it's pretty high.
I'm going to say 82.
You both undershot. It's actually 88%.
We tried to tell you people like this movie.
It.
He did Spider right before A History of Violence.
I certainly have not watched that one.
Yeah.
I also didn't realize how much acting Cronenberg does as well.
I didn't realize.
I knew he did. I don't remember seeing him.
He's in the new Ready or Not that just came out earlier this year.
Yes.
How about that?
I don't want people to get onto me, but sometimes when I think about him, I do sometimes have Cronenberg and David Lynch. I sometimes swap their images. Like, I think Cronenberg looks like David Lynch, but then I realize, like, because it was David Lynch that played John Huston in Spielberg's The Fabelmans, but parts of me almost said Cronenberg anyway. Cronenberg has a very unique look too.
And it was Cronenberg who played Dr. Wimmer in Jason X that we talked about a few years ago on this podcast.
Classic. So his acting taste is
aligns with his films.
Aligns with McCash's taste.
I didn't like Jason X. I hated that fucking movie.
Shocked because you like those Strangers movies too. Ugh.
Well, we're not going to talk about that third one that came out earlier this year. That was hot garbage.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
It's our friend Brittany Fernandez that loves Jason X.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, it was her choice. Yeah, it was her choice. Yeah. But okay, sorry. Yeah, I didn't realize he did a lot of acting either. But I kind of like these old school directors getting out there and
getting in front of the
doing
camera.
Different stuff too.
Yeah.
Stuff that I'm sure they would.
I did not realize that Cronenberg did the Robert Pattinson Cosmopolis movie.
Yeah. This is the beginning of a pretty nice working relationship with Vigo. They at least did 3 movies together, starting with this.
Yeah. So it would be this, Eastern Promises, and then Crimes of the Future.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there we go.
I can say I've seen 3, maybe 4 of his films in total. 5.
Yeah.
5 now that I look.
I did not. I will be honest. I cast off Cronenberg as a lot of like, oh, not my cup of tea. But then that run of A History of Violence, Eastern Promises, A Dangerous Method, Cosmopolis. That looks like a pretty intriguing.
I forgot about A Dangerous Method.
And a pretty intriguing run there.
Yeah.
Oh, that has Vigo in it too.
Yeah. A lot of people like his latest one's The Shrouds. It has Vincent Castle, who's been in he's in Eastern Promises for sure. But a lot of people
Guy Pearce
like that one a lot. It was in quite a few like top 10s, which it was okay. There I promise we'll get back on track, but apparently starting around I think The Crimes of the Future, he lost his wife. And so a lot, these past couple, and it's definitely there with The Shrouds, is about kind of grief, death, losing a loved one. Like you can kind of really see a change after Eastern Promises.
See, I knew him earlier from his sci-fi horror days because I like Rabid. I love Scanners, Videodrome, The Dead Zone, and Dead Ringers. That's where I knew him from.
So that's kind of like when his name popped up, kind of going through prepping for this, I was like, wait, is this the same
dude?
David Cronenberg? And it is. Like there's It's really interesting because in my head, I just always associate him with those movies that McCash just listed that I forget that he did stuff like this.
Yeah. Yeah. I always think of the flying scanners, but Videodrome, I remember watching, like, that was a crazy, and that's kind of what Cronenberg was for a long time. It's like, but I think that kind of speaks to the money and stuff that his films make. He's more of an artist than a movie director.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not for everybody, but he's got some classics, and he certainly is one of those filmmakers that people try to replicate in the stuff that he's been doing.
Yeah.
So the critics came in at 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. What do we think the everyday viewer thought? Were they on the same page as the critics?
Bunch of losers, probably. It's rotten.
I'm gonna say
I was gonna say 54.
I think it's a little higher because
I don't think people tanked it, but I'll be shocked if it's in the 80s or 70s.
I'm gonna say 62.
62, and what was the other one, Brandon?
54.
You both undersold this film. 76%.
I'm surprised because like I said, I got some pushback on Twitter for giving this a 2.5. And
what were they? Go ahead.
I go back to Letterboxd and I scroll through and I see like a lot of our friends that aren't critics that gave it or a lot of my friends on Letterboxd, like 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I did the same because I gave it 2.5.
And like reading through the reviews, I'm like, okay, this is just one that like I'm gonna just accept. Like I'm way off on this one.
So before we get to, well, okay, so it's at 7. So before we get to Letterboxd,
I gave it 1.5.
What did you guys not like about it? I don't think we dug into it. We know that they know where we all stand, but
yeah, I didn't like tonally. I feel like I do like I made that joke earlier, but I feel like
it can be
tonally there are horror elements of this film that kind of made me feel unsettled a little bit. I kind of liked McCash's comment last night about this being horny, but like there are moments where it's like it's horny when it shouldn't be, and then there's moments where I'm like, I'm scared, but I don't think I really should be.
Yeah.
I told you like the dialogue and the acting really kind of took me out of it. And like the accents I'm kind of like the whole time I'm trying to place like what exactly is this accent? I don't really know.
Like Vigo?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what we're going for here.
Yeah.
And I respect the creative decision to maybe do some of this stuff personally to make it feel like you're inside a fake life, so to speak. But I just couldn't get past it as I tried to watch it. And my favorite parts, I liked Ed Harris quite a bit. I liked William Hurt quite a bit in this. But there were times when it just kind of felt like a B movie to me.
Yeah.
It was flat. Some of the approach. So what I told Stoney, and again, take this for what it's worth. It might, be looking, thinking too much about it, but I kind of, after reading it, I sort of recognized where you could get it is that I think it was on Reddit or something, but there are people that say it is intentional because he's pretending to be this guy. Yeah. And it's almost like we're watching a pretend world. So the dialogue is supposed to be kind of static, sort of just like, and I'm like, okay, I can kind of get with that only because the tone is definitely changing, but I kind of like it because what makes me kind of think, oh, you know what, they could be onto something is Vigo, the tone and everything changes as his past life starts to cross this other one that he has carefully tried to build and hide. So to me, if anything, I think it's fascinating if that is the case, because when I first started watching it, it does kind of seem like where's the emotion in it?
Yeah.
But I also think that to me, I think is associated with everything he's trying to hide. He's not him. So even in the line deliveries that I agree, I think could be a little more, authentic.
Yeah.
I think it's still him playing off of this is not my reality as much as I want it to be. So I found that part at least fascinating. But I will say, I was not a fan of this movie that much when I first saw it. And I
remember that.
And I haven't watched it since. And I don't think it's one of his greats. I don't think I could say it should be almost 90% fresh. But I think I viewed it differently than I had before. I've also watched more Cronenberg since 2005, which also kind of gets you more kind of on his level as far as how he does it anyway. Because some of that dialogue and stuff is through all of them.
Yeah.
And they're not like cheesy, but there's a way it's done that it doesn't seem natural.
Yeah.
But when Ed Harris shows up at that diner, starts calling him Joey, I started to really kind of get into it. And from there, he's the daughter at the mall, and he talks to his wife. William Hurt, he's not even in it that much, but I get the nomination, even though I think Ed Harris probably should have been able to get in there too.
Yes, 100%.
I love where he's like, well, you could die.
Yeah.
I mean, and you were telling me like he's cold.
It's ice cold.
And there's a lot of stuff I liked about it. And when the violence happens, it's like a burst.
Yeah.
And then we kind of like try to get our shit back together.
Two more things I would say. It felt like a very gray movie. And I like that in some instances, but what I struggled with was like from a literal like color perspective, it's okay, well, even when he's living this happy life, it just kind of feels a little darker. And I don't know if that's a creative decision to say like
the cloud of his past is hanging over.
Yeah, like what you're watching is supposed to be like fun small town life. Here's a good old boy in his tight blue jeans with his big fat ass right in the middle of the camera.
But it's like the farmhouse. It's like the simple
they're playing
town
baseball out in the all this stuff, but there's still this element. Like maybe that's an intentional thing to say, oh well, this is something's not quite right here. But I do like a little bit of like, let's not be so bleak all the time.
Yeah.
And the other thing I would mention is that for some reason, I remembered it being later into the movie when he finally concedes and admits that he is the guy. But in rewatching it, I'm like, man, we really don't waste much time once we meet Ed Harris. Like, and he's on the ground and he said, I should have killed you in Philly. And it's the big reveal. And I'm like, man, there's a movie in here where they really take their time and let that breathe. And let's make the audience guess and second guess, and then we'll finally get to it. And I just thought there was room to kind of build a little more tension and anticipation to that moment than we got.
I do understand that. And I remember thinking it did go differently than when I first saw it.
Yeah.
But I also do like that scene where once they have his son, there is a change in Vigo, but I would agree with that, but I will say I honestly don't mind the timing of it because they kind of hammer out some stuff and it's simple, but to me, I thought it was quite effective. And you're done in an hour and a half.
Yeah. It's a tight movie. Good. It is a tight in and out
and
process.
I loved the last scene when he comes back to see, because life is different and his family knows. And then there's just kind of this unknown thing of whether they accept him or not. And especially with him and his wife and that look of Vigo when they end. So yeah, McCash, are you kind of in the same boat with Stoney? I know you said about performances.
Very much so. And we'll get into like the differences between the movie and the graphic novel it's based on.
Oh yeah, I didn't know it was a graphic novel.
I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't either when I rewatched it.
Yeah, so the graphic novel appears to be much more darker and more violent. Like you talk about, there's there is violence in the film, hence it's in the title, but it's only like here and there. Where if you're going to have a title such as A History of Violence, I feel it should be much more violent, even if it's done in flashbacks to Tom's past life as Cusack. But we'll get into that.
As the third Cusack sibling.
We'll never get away from the Cusacks. It's impossible on this podcast.
Yeah.
But we talked about the critics and the everyday viewer. What did those everyday viewers have to say on Letterboxd? And I have a few reviews here, and we'll start with number one Gizmo fan.
Okay.
They gave it 5 stars and says, I think if Viggo Mortensen was in every movie ever made, the world would be a better place.
Hey, why not?
Yeah. Viggo Mortensen and Jason X would probably have been a lot better.
Viggo Mortensen and Waiting.
Yeah. Then we have Eric, 4 stars. Eric says, after Eastern Promises, I was fully 100% expecting Viggo Mortensen to whip his whole dick balls and booty ass out for the final fight scene, but this was still good.
Listen, they put them tight blue jeans on and made sure you saw that ass walking through town.
Yep.
I will tell Eastern Promises is probably my favorite Cronenberg movie, my favorite Viggo movie. I loved that movie. It's so good. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Viggo was nominated. I think that was his first nomination for it.
That I don't know.
I'd have to look that up, but I can while McCash reads some Letterboxd reviews.
I know he's nominated for Mr. Fantastic, which is another good one, but yeah, okay.
We have Othavio. Othavio did not rate it, gave no rating, but did say, horny and bloody the way all films should be.
Amen. Hey. Amen to that.
This is one of the horniest fucking violent films I've ever seen.
Well, and there's a thing that I read along the same lines of how like the tone and dialogue is supposed to represent whatever. And that the first time when they kind of have that kind of nice, romantic, gentle love session.
69 in?
Yeah. Which apparently is the first movie to show that.
Is that
right?
Like
in my notes.
Like I read it somewhere where it was the first to show like in a major motion picture of them specifically doing that. But I mean, I got plenty of home videos. If you guys.
Okay. Is this really raunchy Redhead Volume 5?
That's Volume 3. It's Volume 3.
Volume 3.
My bad.
But they said that once you find out who he is, the next one is the stairs one, and it's more animalistic. Like, I do think there is something of the flipping of a switch when you do know that he was Joey. I think a lot of this is probably intentional. Now, again, whether it, wins you over or not is different, but I think there's something to all of it.
Yeah.
He has been nominated. Viggo Mortensen has been nominated for Best Actor 3 times, has won 0.
Yeah, he hasn't won.
Nominated for Eastern Promises and Captain Fantastic.
Captain. I said Mr.
As Brandon said, he was also nominated for Best Actor in 2019 for Green Book.
Oh
yeah.
At the Golden Globes, he did garner a Best Supporting Actor nomination for his role in A Dangerous Method in 2012.
I need to go back and see that. I just don't remember it.
Yeah. Well,
same. When I saw that pop up, I thought it was A Dangerous Mind. I was like, that came out way before this.
In 7 years, we can talk about it on this podcast.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I will say, like, I put the movie on, and then I got up to, like, make a glass of water or something. And then as the opening credits are going, everything's like, I'm not really missing anything. And I come back, I look up, and I'm like, they're actually going to town on each other's nether regions. What the fuck did I miss? So I had to rewind.
Yeah,
I was like, let me catch the first 5 minutes again.
Yep.
Yeah,
that'll do it.
Yep.
But the final, I couldn't miss that. And then the final review I have is from Spencer. Gave it 1 star. Extremely frustrating and shockingly bad. The awful acting and script made me believe it was ironic and there was going to be some sort of twist, but there wasn't one. The film was just that bad. I agree with him to part of the twist. I was expecting a twist at some point, and then Ed Harris essentially just lays it out, and it never really becomes anything because it's a second nature at that point.
You know what? I think that's what my first reaction when I saw it back then is it's built to where what was he? Like, what is going on? And the way that it's presented, it's not even, it is about him being Joey.
Yeah.
But the twist that's really not even the main objective of the film.
Mhm.
And when you do find out it's him, that's why I think it's done that way. Like Cronenberg's not interested in like trying to shock you that he's actually Joey. Like, I don't like, to me, things really get interesting though when Ed Harris does show up. Like, just the way they come in, and then you find out, and I was talking about the scene where the cop pulls him over.
Oh, and he's just a prick.
And you feel like they're going to kill him. Like, I'm shocked that he even walks
Mhm.
away, and the way Ed Harris is
when he tells him,
doing it.
"Keep up the good work, officer." I'm like, you smarmy prick.
And so
So I had heard of the movie, had never seen it prior to written it before this podcast. And I watched the trailer first, and I saw the trailer. I was like, oh, this looks like it's going to be pretty damn good. Oh, Ed Harris is in it. I love Ed Harris. And then he dies, fairly quickly in the fucking movie, and it's gone. I was like, what?
he's got some real memorable stuff in there before he goes,
Yeah.
though. I'll give him that.
Yeah, his eye is memorable.
I think the
The mall
diner
scene.
and the mall where he's
The
talking.
mall scene got me. I was like, ooh, this is creepy.
Yeah.
It's another instance of like, oh, this feels like a scary movie.
It's because you don't know who is who.
yeah.
And so
Mhm.
clearly, but and I could watch just that conversation between Vigo and William Hurt.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
good. And I know it
Mhm.
ends up, kind of turn into the shootout thing that doesn't last too long, but I love that conversation they have when he's talking about the trouble he made for him and all that stuff.
I will say, now that I've watched this and rewatched Sin City, that I see how they differ as far as graphic novels go, as turning them into film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like either one of them, but now that I like one more than the other, and that'd be Sin City. But some of the big differences between the graphic novel and the movie A History of Violence, to me, made no sense to make. So we'll start with in the graphic novel, the protagonist is Tom McKenna, a diner owner in Michigan, where in the film it's Tom Stahl and he's in Indiana.
Yeah.
Why did you need to make that difference?
I don't know.
His former identity is Joey Mooney, a mob hitman. And then in the film, he's Joey Cusack, who's tied to the Philadelphia mob.
Well, somebody wanted to tip their cap to John Cusack.
Right.
Sure.
I'm sure Stahl was for somebody.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
The setting in the book, like in the novel, like I said, is in Michigan, where the film is in Millbrook, Indiana. The graphic novel, they're members of the mob who previously worked for Joey, that they come to hunt Tom across multiple locations. And then in the film, it's the main antagonist is Carl Fogarty, played by Ed Harris. He claims Tom betrayed him in the Philadelphia mob. So Fogarty is not in the graphic novel. He was created for the film to give it a clearer central antagonist.
Huh. Okay.
I was real happy for those two dudes at the beginning to get what was coming to them.
Yeah. They were pricks.
Yeah.
But they also could have killed that teenager that was a bully, and I would have been okay with that.
Yeah, true.
Who later essentially got his ass whooped. But speaking,
Yeah.
got his ass whooped by Tom Stahl's son. And in the graphic novel, the son's role is a little different. Tom's son becomes heavily involved and kills mobsters with Tom during the climax in the graphic novel. The story becomes a father-son violent road confrontation. And then in the movie, Tom's son, Jack, has a smaller role, and his biggest moment is standing up to a bully at his high school. I would have loved to see the father-son story play out in the movie.
Yeah.
I think that would have added.
I think it makes it a little more comic booky for sure. And I think the choice not to do that probably keeps this movie a little more grounded, but I think there's a fun story in there.
I see. You could definitely make a different movie, but I like A History of Violence. I like how it's stripped down. And with Ed Harris's character added to it, I think that helps get it moving in the direction that, the graphic novel, eventually gets to, it sounds like.
Yeah. And then the ending for the two, the graphic novel finds Tom ultimately returning to the mob to settle things permanently. He kills the boss who once controlled him. So the story ends more like a crime revenge narrative, whereas in the movie, Tom goes to Philly, kills his brother Richie, played by William Hurt, and returns home. And the final scene is, the silent tension at the dinner table. And his daughter gives him a plate and says, "Fix your own fucking meal, asshole."
I do love
said.
I like quite a few of the choices Cronenberg made from the graphic novel. I don't know if if the graphic novel was translated to the movie,
right,
Cronenberg wouldn't do it. That's not a Cronenberg movie.
That's a nice throwback.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It is. Well done. Well done.
Well done, sir. Cronenberg describes the film as a meditation on the human body and its relationship to violence.
Huh. Well, that would explain the horniness.
Yeah, but that's also the deal with father and son.
Yeah.
And Ed Harris is a walking history of violence, considering with the eye and the scarring. But everything is done as if that's the only way. Like his brother, Ed Harris, and him. And I get like a couple of flashbacks, like McCash was saying, but I think the title, which it is kind of misleading because I think you think it's going to be like the graphic novel, but it's not. But I like that he has a past. Clearly, it's violent. And I think, I don't know, for me, it's kind of one of those that's like, they're going to let you think about it, but I'm not going to show you. You just have to guess that he must have been one bad dude.
It felt more like a meditation on our choices and how our past can continue to shape us if we don't process our trauma and move on. That was the metaphor for me, is that Ed Harris and them represented was like, hey, you can go through the motions all you want and you can
change
live
your
this
name and
happy life in small town, but this is always going to be here if you don't correct it. Or even if it is like, this is still a part of you that can weigh you down. So
he had to confront it. That's why I feel like
had to confront it.
I'm not sure if it's a happy ending, but I do think that they're all changed by it, but they also have been able to unload a lot because now everybody knows kind of where they stand. And the question is, do you move on and accept who he was and who he is now? Or you don't?
Yeah.
I will say there was one scene I particularly had to question why this was done. So it's a scene where Ed's at the diner. Not Ed, but Vigo's at the diner. It's closed. He's just sitting at the counter with like a cup of coffee, and he looks out and he sees the black car there that eventually drives off. And he calls his wife, like, "Get the shotgun, blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "I'll be there as soon as possible. I'm on my way." And then he fucking stumbles his ass because he's got a fucked up foot from being stabbed. And I'm like, dude, where's your car? Or a car to steal or something? Or a cop.
Dude, where's my car?
Where's my car?
Yeah.
Well, but remember, his truck wasn't running, and she had to drop him off.
Yeah.
I missed the dropping off part. I must have been refilling my drink.
He doesn't. He does not. And I thought that's a nice little scene to sneak in there because the whole thing is, hey, can you give me a ride to work? The truck's not working and stuff. And then they show the one scene where he's working on the truck and he makes a comment and he's like, yeah, it works sometimes or whatever. And then I'd say 2 scenes later is when he takes it to go visit his brother.
And it works just fine.
It starts up like a butte.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So during an interview, Vigo stated that during the shooting of the first bar scene with Ed Harris, he could not stop laughing. And as a result, the scene had to be reshot several times. Due to Vigo's behavior, Ed Harris completely did the scene without pants on. He only wore his underwear. Yet this cannot be seen as the bar table is obviously impeding our view. Thus, Viggo Mortensen had to act seriously while Ed Harris was not wearing any pants. And this is the scene that is used in the movie.
How about that?
Again, God bless Ed Harris. He's a treasure.
He should have multiple Oscars.
He should. He should.
We've talked about the horniness of this film. And then for the sex scene on the stairs, which to me is one of the most violent things in the whole damn fucking movie.
And it hurt. Those steps ain't. they look pretty unforgiving.
It's like watching Samoa Joe take that bump on the arena stairs when he took off running and just jumped off the edge and landed on
or
him.
Sid breaking his ankle.
Or Jordan Grace breaking her ankle on SmackDown. That was gross.
Exactly.
David Cronenberg
sex on the stairs.
Yeah, they're just the same. David Cronenberg was concerned about the two actors getting hurt on the hard wooden steps. So he asked his stuntman whether or not he had any stunt pads to soften up the stairs. And the stuntman, laughed, saying that in the 20 years he'd been working as a stuntman, no director had ever asked for stunt sex pads. So pads were not used for most of the scene, however. And in the shot where Eddie, the wife, is naked on the bed, you can see the bruise on her back.
Mm-hmm.
They had to use makeup to hide all the bruises that Maria Bello received from that scene.
Dang.
Holy shit.
Listen, love of the game.
My gosh.
Committed.
Yeah, she didn't have to deal with that in any other of her films, I bet, especially the Jane Austen Book Club, which is the only movie I remember her from.
Just imagine that scene in the Jane Austen Book Club.
Love her in The Cooler.
Oh yeah. Great
I
film.
love her in that.
Great film.
The mobsters that were originally the mobsters in the film, Ed Harris and such, were supposed to be Italian Americans. But after the casting of Ed Harris and William Hurt, David Cronenberg decided to change the mob to Irish Americans, given Vigo's character his Irish name Cusack. He felt that Mortensen, Harrison, and Hurt wouldn't make convincing Italian Americans.
He is right.
So
good for him.
I mean, Italian, Irish, Boston, Philadelphia, New York. I couldn't place it, so I had no idea what they were supposed to be.
I'm glad he knew enough to know to not move forward.
With
Italian.
Yeah, that would have been a little. That would have been a little something.
Yeah, and let them do the Irish thing.
I thought even at one point I was like, "Is this supposed to Is there a little bit of Russian?"
Right.
There's a little. Yeah. You can't quite place it.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Just a bunch of mobsters.
Yeah.
We talked about William Hurt received an Oscar nomination for this film for Best Supporting Actor, despite only being in one scene, which lasted less than 10 minutes. It took him a total of 5 days to film. So not bad for a week's worth of work. But George Clooney won the award for Best Supporting Actor for his work in Syriana.
Huh.
Yeah. And William Hurt has won an Oscar.
Yeah. I mean, what's his filmography looking like?
It's a bunch. I mean, he's dead now, but
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Bless his heart.
Yeah. And his dad, John Hurt.
Yeah.
Also dead.
Pour another one out.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Who's next?
Somebody who's not dead is Maria Bello.
No.
She plays the on-screen mother of Ashton Holmes in the film. Ashton Holmes is actually only 11 years younger than Maria Bello.
That's crazy.
I would not have guessed that.
No, I wouldn't have either.
Either she's younger than I thought she was, or he's older than I thought he was.
Maybe a little bit of both, too.
Possibly.
Yeah.
This, in 2006, according to the Los Angeles Times, was the last video to be widely released on VHS.
Huh.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, listen, fun fact, I had to look it up, but I remember thinking she wrote, it says story by, but Maria Bello came up with a story and wrote, or at least was a writer on it, for Viola Davis's The Woman King.
How about that?
I saw her name and looked it up after I watched it, and it's her. That's her only writing credit. But I'm like, good for you, because I haven't seen her in too much, even though she's been in the first season of Beef and stuff like that, which that was 2 or 3 years ago now. But yeah, I liked her in this, but I think I'll always just remember her as in The Cooler.
She was a Coyote Ugly.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And Grown Ups, how could you?
Oh God, I forgot. Who is she? Is that Kevin James's wife?
I can't remember.
Yeah, it's not Chris Rock's or Adam Sandler's, because Adam Sandler is.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. You know Adam Sandler's wife in that. What's her name?
Yeah.
Selma Hayek.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Whew. Yeah.
But
You're right. It is Kevin James. Yeah.
And then
Milk and
I get
cookies.
that.
I was going to say, she was in Permanent Midnight. I fucking haven't seen that movie in forever with Ben Stiller. It's a great film.
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
It's a kind of a late 90s dark comedy, if you will, psychological drama.
Secret Window.
Yeah.
Oh, how could we forget about that?
She's in Thank You for Smoking.
Yep.
She was on a roll for a while.
Yeah. All right.
Give 'em
Well,
some
I'm
good
glad we hashed
material.
that out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good job, Maria.
if you haven't seen Permanent Midnight, check it out. It's got a great cast. It's got Fred Willard, Elizabeth Hurley, Owen Wilson, and Maria Bello and Ben Stiller, as I said.
There we go.
Okay, cool.
Late 90s dark comedy. So during the robbery scene at the diner, the actor who's crudely rubbing his hand down the waitress's breast and then sniffing his hand, that was thought up by the two actors themselves and kind of did that on the spot.
Whoa. Once them titties played with.
Who initiated that?
This movie's fucking horny for no reason, people.
Yeah, I see
They're
it.
just creep. Just
Yeah.
being creeps. Creeps being creeps.
I do have a coulda, woulda, shoulda for this film if we would be interested to hear about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
There were two actors who turned down the role of Tom Stahl that eventually went to Viggo Mortensen. Do we have any guesses on who those two actors might be?
Mel Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say Patrick Wilson.
That was the most random actor I could possibly think.
I respect it though. I respect you pulling that out though.
I do.
Mel Gibson and Patrick Wilson
must be.
One I'm not aware of by name, but I've seen him in a bunch of stuff, and that's Thomas Jane.
Oh yeah, I could.
Old Punisher.
Yeah, I could see that.
It was in Boogie Nights as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one, Jesus Christ, I didn't see this coming, but Harrison Ford.
Wow.
I would have loved to see his take in this Cronenberg movie.
Yeah, for sure.
I think I would too.
But I think Viggo really does fit the small town guy who's capable of more than you think.
Yeah.
And he hasn't had a role like that. I mean, he came from Lord of the Rings, and I think has Hidalgo has already come out too, I think.
It was the same year as
was it?
As this,
so
yeah.
I kind of feel like this was a good role for him. And if this is what led to him in Eastern Promises, then yeah,
so
absolutely. No take back.
So be it. Yeah.
Viggo Mortensen is one of those 88% of the critics on Rotten Tomatoes who love this film. He praised the film as one of the best movies he's ever been in, if not the best, also declaring it was a perfect film noir or close to perfect.
Well,
I'm glad he's proud of it.
I'd have to go watch some of his other films before I'd agree with him, but I respect it.
I think Eastern Promises is some of his best work, even though Captain Fantastic,
I never saw that.
I really feel like he's in his element in that one too. I mean, listen, he's great in Lord of the Rings too.
Yeah.
I loved him.
Don't short sight that.
I've also heard he's a really, really nice guy.
Well, you love to hear that.
Yeah, he does. I don't think he's let fame get him all riled up.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Who's not a nice guy are the two robbers we see at the beginning of the film who come into the cafe. Well, the two actors who played them came up with their own backstory about why the men were traveling together. And according to them, the older man was the younger man's uncle and was taking him across country after the younger man had been released from prison.
How about that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah.
I mean, good for them.
If it helps you get into character.
Get the mentality. Yeah.
Do what you got to do.
So we talked about the locations of the movie. It's small town in Indiana and such. The fictitious film that the film is set in, Millbrook, Indiana, is named after the town where the film was actually shot, Millbrook, Ontario, Canada. And the scenes set in Philadelphia were actually filmed in Toronto.
I think Cronenberg's a Canadian, isn't he?
I think he is. I think we discussed that earlier.
Yeah.
I
didn't hear that.
Yeah. Yep.
A 51st state.
Yeah. In a 2014 interview, Viggo Mortensen said that he read Josh Olson's original version of the script and was quite disappointed, saying it was 120 odd pages of just mayhem, kind of senseless, really. and he only agreed to do the movie after meeting with Cronenberg, who reworked the script.
Really?
See, now I'm wondering if that's more of the graphic novel pages coming in there, and Vigo's like, well, what's the point?
Yeah. Yeah. Could have been.
Yep.
I think there was a lot of reworking, but I still, again, see, that movie wouldn't have been a Cronenberg movie, and apparently wouldn't have been a Vigo movie either.
Yeah.
And then the motel you see in the opening scene is now a rather famous motel, not like Bates Motel level famous, but it is the same motel that's used in the TV show Schitt's Creek.
Hey,
Really?
nice.
I recognized it from somewhere, but I wanted to say, I can't remember now. I'm not going to try and drag this out.
That is awesome.
It looks familiar.
Yeah. And then my last note
from Luke Wilson, Kate Beckinsale's No Vacancy.
Oh, Vacancy. I love that movie.
Or is it Vacancy? Yeah.
Vacancy. Yeah. Last note I have is that this movie, History of Violence, was ranked number 59 in the BBC's 21st Century's 100 Greatest Films list.
I'm telling you, it's got a reputation. It's got a reputation.
I'm shocked it's held in such high regard. And this is a guy that likes it more now than he did then. But of Cronenberg's stuff, and I know it's just 21st century, but I feel like, why isn't Eastern Promises getting love?
Yeah, fair enough.
Do we need to stop here real quick to get to our fast forward and closing out?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I can be quick on Ed Harris.
Be quick on Ed Harris too.
Let's just try to push then, because it'll, yeah.
So, favorite Ed Harris films to close out the show?
I realized I haven't seen a lot of Ed Harris films, so I would say Love Lies Bleeding immediately comes to mind, and I'm going to give him a nod for A History of Violence. The first movie I think of is Radio.
Right.
So I'm going to pass on that, even though it was a great film, especially if you were an extra in it.
Yes.
All-timer of a film. But I'm going to go with Love Lies Bleeding as my favorite of his.
Honestly, he's been in so many great things, but I just haven't rewatched. Like, I see like Apollo 13.
Yeah.
And I see the Truman Show I was talking about. I haven't seen it in so long. So the ones that came to my mind is actually Love Lies Bleeding. I really like his character. He also has long hair. It's funny. Appaloosa, him and Vigo again, but it's an old Western.
Yeah.
I feel like it's overlooked, but it's really good. I'm going to go with Pollock. He was nominated. It's his only nomination in Best Actor.
Yeah.
But he's really good in it. And he is the star of the film, which Ed Harris really kind of hasn't been in those. He's been more of like the most noticeable character actor. And then I'm going to go, my last one is kind of tough, but I really like the movie. I'll go with Gone Baby Gone.
There we go.
Fair.
All right.
My 4, The Firm, obviously, because I'm an extra in it. I love it.
There we go.
The Right Stuff. That was a great film when I was a younger kid. Eye for an Eye, the Sally Fields, Kiefer Sutherland thriller. And then lastly, Just Cause with Sean Connery. Love that movie.
So this is a wide array of films.
Yeah,
Lawrence Fishburne and Sean Connery. So yeah, that wraps up a History of Violence.
There we go.
I fucking did it. I knew I was going to do it.
A House of Violence.
So cheers to another episode of Drinking With, where we've explored the films that have come of age just like a fine wine. As we raise our glasses to movies turning 21, we've laughed, reminisced, and maybe shed a tear or two over the timeless classics. So until next time, may your drinks be cold, your conversations lively, and your movie nights unforgettable. Drink responsibly. Remember, age is just a number, but great films are forever. You can find me on X at MC_Cash75, Letterbox at Stephen McCash. Gentlemen, where can they find you?
Stoney Keeley, Sobros Network, Nashville Movie Dispatch.
Twitter at Sir Brandon V and Sir Brandon on Letterbox.
And we'll see you next time, because I have to return some videotapes.